I'm Iti, the content head and specialist at Outgrow, and I will be a host today. With me is Dave, the product adoption specialist at Outgrow, and he will be taking all of your questions at the end of this presentation. And also, please don't bother taking any notes. We'll be sending a recording of this webinar directly to your inboxes. And the ones who do decide to stay till the very end will get a special Outgrow offer that is tailored specifically for this webinar's registrants. So let's start. Welcome to our webinar where we'll talk about interactive content, email list growth, and well, almost everything in between. So what pops in your head when you think about interactive content? Maybe it's a BuzzFeed quiz you attempted. Or maybe you just finished watching Netflix's new interactive movie, Bandersnatch. Either way, your curiosity is justified. Interactive content does that to you. Combine it with the purpose of growing an email list and you're in a whole new ball game. But before we jump into how interactive content can help you grow your email list, let's go back to the basics. Let's hear it from the marketing guru, shall we? Neil Patel told you that the money is in the list. David Newman told you that email has an ability that many channels don't, creating valuable personal touches at scale. All right, that might sound a bit too intense, but it's true nonetheless. Growing your email list is as important as and complementary to your sales. In fact, according to 80% of marketing professionals, email marketing drives customer acquisition and retention. Marketers agree that while social media and search cannot be ignored, email marketing has a higher conversion rate than both of those tactics combined. And why do we say that? That's because when you're looking for the most direct way to reach and interact with your audience, it's best to turn to email. So the question is, where does this leave us? Well, with 61% of the marketers that are struggling with the critical problem of building an email list growth. Now, let's take a deeper look into what's causing these problems. Now, email list growth takes on two forms. First is growing that email list. And second is maintaining the email hygiene. Now, this might seem a bit too easy to tackle. We've all been there, but there are a whole new subcategories of problems that are associated with each of them. Let me explain that to you in detail. First is relevant and valuable content. See, if you don't want to hear it from us, just take it from Bill Gates himself. You have to create, and I mean have to create, quality content. Content can be a problem when trying to close fresh leads, as well as retaining new customers and existing customers. Now, customers and leads will most likely not be interested in content that offers nothing to them. You want their email? Maybe give them a free resource. You already have their email. Start looking at your emails as customer-centric rather than focusing on the company. After all, the honest truth is that nobody wants to read self-promotional and mediocre emails. It's like we always say at Outgrow, don't sell, just be nice. Next, we move on to the second problem of getting expert advice. Okay, so maybe getting Sherlock Holmes is a bit of a stretch, but nonetheless, you can get expert marketing advice that will work for you. 58% of marketers use in-house resources to execute email list growth tactics. Now, reports of finding the right keyword and the right resources it's for the email list growth, it might be industry specific, especially the keywords. Now, moreover, every company has a different tone of voice. So attaining that level of expertise that's required to create and execute an effective list growth strategy is a challenge. And quite frankly, it's very hard. It's often very difficult to overcome, especially without the use of external resources. So what do? We can seek expert advice, we can conduct personal researches, and overall experiment with our list building tactics. Above all, we have to follow the golden rule. That is, even if you fall 7 times, stand up 8. Moving on to our third problem of maintaining email hygiene. Now, list hygiene is a problem, it's an obstacle that is faced by 40% of marketers pursuing list growth. 40%, that's a huge number. And I'm going to be straight up with you though, this is going to require hard work. But it does promise you with more reliable analytics. Moreover, low email deliverability rate can give you a bad reputation in the eyes of ISPs. So how can you overcome this? Well, here are a few tips. Suppress hard bounces by weeding out invalid addresses. Eliminate duplicate email addresses. Remove and or correct bad domains. And last but not the least, eliminate fake accounts. I mean, how many of those test at the rate and QWERTY at the rate and common expletive at the rate can be genuine addresses, huh? Moving on to our next point of including the opt-in form. And we call it a nightmare for a reason. Marketers are continuously questioning how many opt-in forms they should have on their site and where they should place it or what design they should use. In the end, they just want to turn the potential lead into a subscriber. But what's in it for the potential lead? What's in it for them? Now, that's too many questions to handle. How can you overcome this obstacle? Well, you'll have to stick with us for a few more minutes to find that out. Moving on to another one of our problems, collecting additional information. I feel like this cartoon by Marketonist kind of sums up our point here, but let me explain it to you anyway. So what is our end goal? What do you think is our end goal? In the end, we create an email list to increase or retain our customers, right? Now, that would require the sales team to have a bit more information than just an email address. Marketers are constantly looking to acquire more information from their leads. Now, this can help in personalized advertisements, targeted sales pitch, and even a higher conversion rate. But how do we procure that without directly asking for it? Now, this is another problem that we'll tackle in another section of this webinar. Moving on to another point of social media, using social media for list building. Now, just have a look at this amazing marketing ad by Facebook. I absolutely loved it. Social media can be used to gather emails, but you cannot hold free giveaways the entire year, can you? So how do we make it fun enough for them to be interested in subscribing to you? All your competitors are investing in Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and you don't want to be left out. And I understand that. We get it. But the question isn't about being left out, is it? It's about standing out. So we suggest that you have 2 ways to get over this hurdle. First is have a look at the actionable tips that we have in this webinar for you. Or second, become Facebook. And since the second option is not really an option for most of us hardworking marketers, we suggest you stick with us. Now, we don't want to scare you, but there are a lot more problems that are associated with email list building, even more than the ones that we just described. Well, some of these problems are pure hard work. We do have 2 tools for you that might just make you say, well, something like this. And not to name drop or anything, but the right interactive content platform and the right email marketing platform might just solve most of these problems out for you, and then some. But before we get into how interactive content can help you grow your email list, let's spend some time understanding what it actually is. Since you're attending this webinar, I'll assume that you already know about the ginormous importance of email automation. Some of you, in fact, most of you, might already use it. Now, interactive content is the new kid on the block. Well, at least relatively. It's been talked about a lot, and many marketers are curious about it, maybe yourself included. But in this section, we'll talk about what all that fuss is about. Now, interactive content is content, by definition, that requires the participants' active engagement. The user isn't just reading your content, but interacting with it to derive results. Now, according to research, there are around 2 million blogs published every day. Every day. And we're not even counting the social media posts and ads that are made live every day. So how do you catch the attention of a generation that has an attention span of less than that of a goldfish? And I'm not even kidding. This is an actual research out there. You interact with them instead of lecturing them. In fact, interactive content generates 2 times more conversion than passive content, just on that basis alone. Voila. That is the most important reason for you to take interactive content seriously. But how is it related to growing your email list, you ask? Well, follow me to the next slide. To make it easier for you, I'll list down how different types of interactive content can help you build your email list exponentially. Exponentially being the keyword here. Now, you must already know the 3 golden rules. That is, introduce at the awareness stage, inform at the consideration stage, and convince at the conversion stage. Now, there are different kinds of interactive content that can help you in different stages of the funnel. First is interactive quizzes. Now, I feel like I need to explain this to you because they can be of 2 types. Graded quiz is like a surprise test, only much more fun. Let me give you an example. Say you're a business that sells furniture. So you can create an interesting graded quiz titled, Choose Your Favorite Furniture and we'll tell you which Friend's character you are. That's interesting, isn't it? On the other hand, outcome quiz are meant to give personalized results to the potential leads according to the answer that they have input, much like personality quizzes. Second is interactive calculators, then polls and surveys, then e-commerce recommendation quizzes, and chatbots. Don't worry, I'll explain all of them in detail and how they can help you grow your email list. First up is interactive quizzes. Now, these are one of the most well-known types of interactive content. You must have attempted one of those, what kind of dog are you quizzes? Well, if you're anything like me, you might have attempted quizzes that tell you which Games of Thrones character you are. And to be honest, more times than I can remember. But there's something to it. Have you ever seen the BuzzFeed quizzes? And did you know that just one BuzzFeed quiz has been viewed over 22 million times and liked over 2.5 million times? That's impressive stuff. You can use these quizzes to raise awareness and interest in your potential lead about your product. Just have a look at this calculator that's on your screens. It was created by Outgrow for Brooklyn Bicycles. With just 3 simple questions, they managed to capture the potential lead's attention. To generate the result, the potential leads have to provide their contact information. Now, this quiz managed to capture 3,225 visits and 1,151 emails. And all of that within 6 months of going live. And that comes to a 36% conversion rate. Not bad for email growth now, is it? Most importantly, this is one thing that I have to tell you. Most of the leads that were collected by this tool were qualified. Why? Because only a few people would interact with the tool that required their participation if they weren't interested in getting an answer or a recommendation. That's inbound marketing all the way. Moving on, a while back, you must remember when we were discussing the problems in list building, we mentioned that marketers find it very hard to collect more information than just email addresses. Interactive content solves this problem right away. But why do I say that? First, it's because it aims to provide something of value to the customer, to the potential lead in real time. The potential lead isn't reluctant to shell out more information to get the answer. For instance, here in this quiz that's on your screen, the potential lead gets to know which kind of bike would be best suited for them. So therefore, they aren't afraid to tell you in which terrain they use their bike in, or what is their favorite color, or what kind of geography they'll be riding the bike in. This is all useful information for your sales team when they're trying to create a buyer persona. Now, it's a simple formula. More information is equal to better buyer persona is equal to more sales. There, I've just laid it out in marketing slang for you. It's a simple formula. Also, guys, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions about what I'm saying, please put them down in the chat and we will be taking all of those questions all together. I understand this is some heavy information, but of course, we are here with all the answers and you will get the answers for all the questions. Moving on to the second point of, and going back to what I was saying, how easy it is to collect additional information with interactive content. Have you ever heard the expression that time flies by when you're having fun? Well, I'm here to coin another one. Emails come in when potential leads are having fun. Now, 91% of B2B buyers prefer to consume visual content. Most customers would honestly take a visually appealing fun quiz over a blog any day. And they're happy to divulge their email addresses when they're having fun interacting with the quiz, Moving on to another type of interactive content that we have for you is interactive calculators. Now, calculators can be best used to collect email addresses of middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel leads. But let me explain. After we have sparked the interest of the lead in the product through, say, a quiz, we can now inform the visitor of a solution to any problems that was identified at the top of the funnel. Moreover, we can highlight the benefits and the advantages of such solutions. Now, interactive calculator fits like a puzzle in this situation. In fact, 51% of marketers say that online calculators are the most effective in the consideration stage of the sales cycle. While discussing the problems of list building a while back, we mentioned that the problems the marketers face while creating valuable content is of relevant content and quality content for the potential lead. Again, interactive calculator solves this problem out for you. An interactive calculator is inherently personalized, they are customer-centric, and they cater to the pressing needs of your potential leads with real-time answers. But let me explain that with an example for a clearer picture. Just have a look at this calculator. This was created by Outgrow for VenturePact. VenturePact is a software development marketplace, and it looked to accelerate growth in a competitive landscape. Now, the calculator helped the potential leads get an accurate estimate of the money that they needed to build an app. Now, it has a series of 9 simple questions with multiple choice answers, and it took an average of, say, 15 seconds to run through the calculator. Virality was inbuilt because it asked for not only the potential lead's email, but also the email of the person that they'd recommend this to. And the conversion on this form stood at a staggering 40%. Within 2 weeks of launching this calculator, it boosted traffic by 15% and increased the conversion rate by 28%. Yes, calculators are just that fun. But it's not all just numbers. If you're looking to increase customer satisfaction, maybe you can build a calculator that helps them calculate the ROI of them upgrading to a better plan, maybe a plan with more functionality. For that matter, you can always create a graded quiz and offer discount to the users that have the highest grade. Let me give you another example. Maybe say you're looking for a holiday marketing technique. So you can think beyond the usual sweepstakes way and build your reward program around a graded quiz. Say you can ask your question to take a quiz that's related to your brand or your product or your service. And then you can attach a score between 0 to 5. Say you score them on a scale of 0 to 10. And if they score between 0 to 5, you can give them a 5% discount. And if they score between 6 to 10, you can give them a 10% discount. The possibilities are endless here. Moving on to another kind of interactive content, which is surveys and polls. Now, according to some sources, the average response rate for survey is 24.8%. Now, that's not really a big number, not really a good number. We can't be happy about it. But you add the magic of interactivity in it, and the percentage increases exponentially. Exponentially, again, being the keyword here. Just have a look at this interactive poll that was made by Outgrow as a pre-made. When polls look this good, it's hard not to participate. Now, I'm just going to show you another example. Now, a quiz like this can be used to, a poll like this can be used to increase our email list by adding the CTA form right before the results. The potential leads have to divulge their contact information before they see where they stand in respect to their peers' opinions. Of course, I have to add this as an added advantage. Your sales team gets to know the preference of those potential leads on the basis of their answers. Just have a look at this poll. It's titled, "What do you think of the content marketing trends of 2018?" Just imagine the value of the information that can be gathered out of this to a company that, say, provides digital marketing services. Oh, and I haven't even talked about the best advantage of interactive polls, and that is instant social proof. Finding out where you stand against your peers has the prerequisite of your peers attempting that poll. Catch my drift? Let me move on to another interactive content type, which is e-commerce recommendation quizzes. Now, one of the major ways that interactive content can solve the problem of non-personalized content is this. Are you ready for it? Personalized recommendation. Potential leads can enter inputs according to their needs and their personalities. Now, the quiz provides the result for those users accordingly. Each question is mapped to a certain response. Actually, let me show you an example. Can you see on your screens, there is a quiz titled, "What is the best smartphone that you can afford?" Now, this quiz asks the user a few simple questions and presents a result according to their answer. And a quiz like this can increase your subscriber list by 70%. To better understand this, I have another e-commerce recommendation example for you. Now, let's move on to another example. Okay. Now, this is a quiz titled, "Which wristwatch you should buy?" And this is the results page of that quiz, e-commerce recommendation quiz. Now, it asks 5 simple questions from the potential leads. It includes questions that one would normally ask, before buying a new wristwatch, like what's your budget? What is the purpose of your wristwatch? Or what's your favorite color? The potential leads get in the end, at the result page, they get a wristwatch that is suited specifically to their needs. Moreover, the company creating this quiz can add products directly from their inventory. Maybe you can throw a little discount for people that are buying products that were suggested to them by the quiz. Moving on to another one of our interactive contents and the last interactive content type, and the last one, chatbot. Well, at least the last one for now. Okay, so what is a chatbot? A chatbot is a tool that allows the company to conduct conversation with a user without the need for human personnel. Basically, it handles all the grunt work so the employees can use their time for more productive purposes, which I'm sure you guys understand. Now, the Outgrow chatbot allows you to gather information from a potential lead or a user. Now, this is a point that I have to state here. The most noteworthy point is that all of these interactive contents require no CS knowledge, no prior CS knowledge, or coding. In fact, creating this chatbot is just a matter of minutes. Moreover, this experience can be seamlessly integrated into a pop-up or a chat or a custom embed. And just take this stat into consideration here that's on your screens. 53% of people are more likely to shop with a business that they can message. Now, chatbots kind of become necessary in this situation. It seems like it's too good to be true, isn't it? So allow me to prove it to you with an example, of course. Have a look at this chatbot we made that is created by Outgrow. Say you're a hotel owner and say you want to collect feedback from all of your clients. Now, one way to go about it is with that bland old white form, which can only get you so far. Another option is chatbot. It will ask the client a simple set of questions, record their problems if they have any, and basically it will be like an employee that works 24/7. The text message format, this is another point that I feel like it's very important. The text message format works good in advertising as well. In fact, did you know that SMS ads are more than twice as commonly recalled as mobile web ads? So that speaks for its advertising potential right there. Moreover, chatbot experiences can also be used as an out-of-office bot that continues to collect leads even if the human resources are not present. Now, the chatbot can include questions that provide valuable information about the leads to your sales teams. Consequently, you garner an enormous amount of leads within just a little bit of time of going live. And moreover, this is an important point as well, you get to create a very detailed and very accurate buyer personas. And with this, we come to an end of the different kinds of interactive content. And I know that was some heavy information. So if you guys have any questions, please write that into the chatbot, and we will be getting back to you at the end of the presentation. So yeah, we are finally done with the different types of interactive content and how they can help you grow your email list. All right, so while these tips told you what interactive content can do for you, allow me to tell you how. And what that means is how to get the most out of your list building interactive tools. But first, let me put this into context for you. Imagine that you've been invited to go out for dinners and drink with coworkers. The fun coworkers, of course, not the annoying ones. But instead, you decide to stay back and put in a little more work at the office. Of course, you can't help but wonder, what exactly are you missing out on and how much fun are they having without you there? And this brings me to my tip, my first tip of creating kick-ass interactive content that grows your list exponentially. The keyword here being, well, do I really have to say it now? Going back to the party, or, well, not going. What do you think that why do you think, in fact, that most people tend to think what they're missing out on? The reason is FOMO. Well, the fear of missing out, to be precise. It is real. It is deeply rooted in social media and experienced by all of us all the time. In fact, studies show that 56% of people on social media experience FOMO. Now, clearly, this principle can be applied to your content creation strategy. For starters, how about not making everything that you write easily available to your audience? Play on people's anxiety, or play on the people's fear of missing out. eventually you will see that your content audience is getting bigger and bigger. And how can you implement this into your interactive content strategy, which is obviously a fair question? Well, maybe you can create a graded quiz titled "See Where You Stand Against Your Fellow Marketers." Now, a quiz like this plays on a lead's competitive spirit and their fear of missing out. They'll wonder what kind of questions are being asked. And of course, they'll think that their peers must have already taken that quiz. In fact, in a few minutes, right here, you are implementing marketing's most used psychology into a quiz. Now, that's not bad. Well, not according to me. Moving on to another point of including gated content. This is our second best practice. Well, how can you do that? You can let your potential leads in on an important piece of information on your interactive content and then withhold it. Alternately, give them access to a complementing piece of information, but only if they share their email ID with you. Just have a look at this calculator that's on your screen by Universal Direct. This is again created by Outgrow for Universal Direct. They aim to provide the potential lead an estimate of the cost of home insurance in Florida. However, if you want a detailed and more accurate quote, you have to provide your contact information. Now, interactive content makes for much better gated content than, say, a landing page for an ebook. But why do I say that? That's because your potential leads already have a taste of the resource. You understand that? You've already given them a taste of the resource, and now they can't help but be interested in what you're offering. Moving on to another one of our points of leveraging exclusivity. Nothing, and I mean nothing, generates curiosity as exclusivity does. For exclusivity, you can provide freebies to the people who attempt the quiz, for instance, but only if they have bought a product from you in the past, or if they promise that they're going to buy a product from you right now, maybe in the next 24 hours. Even if they buy it online, maybe this quiz by Uncapped Beauty will help you understand my point better. After completing the survey, the customer has to enter their email to get the $10 Amazon voucher. So what do you think? Will the customer happily provide their email addresses now that they're getting a free $10 Amazon voucher? Well, they do have $10 to gain and absolutely nothing to lose. So yeah, I'm going to say yes. Moving on to another best practice of reconnecting ideal subscribers. Before I go on with this, guys, I just have to remind you that we will be sending the recording of this webinar within 24 hours of completion. So if you guys miss it, or if any one of your friends have missed it, we can always send it to you, so you don't have to worry about it. And of course, I have to remind that to you guys that if you have any questions, please chat them out. Moving on to our fourth point of reconnecting ideal subscribers. Now, as far as your ideal subscribers on your mailing list, of course, are concerned, engage them with what you missed out kind of emailer. Embed your interactive content in your emails. Now, because this should wake them up and re-engage them with your website and content. Moving on to my fifth point of capitalizing on limited time offers. Capitalize on it. Capitalize on the concept of time is running out. Make your content available only for a limited period of time. And keeping in mind with the best practice of limited time, I'll move on to another slide. Moving on to a sixth best practice of offering fewer choices. See, having too many choices may seem like a good idea, but it actually makes decision-making very stressful. This is why, as content marketers, we use this principle to make decision-making easier. Don't put off people by thinking that more is better when it's clearly not. It will only result in a higher bounce rate on your website. For example, in quizzes, online surveys, and calculators, instead of running around in circles, ask a minimum set of questions. It will ensure that the users complete the task that they started out with. Let me explain this to you with an example that's on your screens. Just have a look at this outcome quiz that's created by AthleanX. They ask a minimum set of questions, and on the basis of that, they suggest a workout plan to the prospect. It's simple and efficient. Moving on to our 7th point of creating a catchy headline. Have you ever heard about the theory of curiosity gap? Well, briefly explained, curiosity feels like a mental itch that we experience when there is a gap between our knowledge and what we ought to know. What I say is that knowledge is knowing about this theory, but wisdom is in utilizing it. And how can you utilize it? Well, begin by writing a headline that is simple yet curiosity-inducing, because a strong headline can result in 500% more page views. You've heard it right, 500%. It's a lot. And at the same time, however, it is equally important to keep away from sensationalist headlines, ones that deceive and underdeliver. Nobody wants to do that. Lastly, once you've figured out your headline, focus on your opening pitch. If you keep them hooked, they will automatically fill the information gap by reading your piece till the very end. It couldn't be easier, right? But just have a look at this slide to see just how easy it can be. People love Deadpool. People also love interactive content. So what do you get when you put both of those things together? Well, a really kick-ass headlines and a tons of new subscribers. Moving on to our 8th point of providing social proof. Now, you see, sometimes all that people need is a nudge, a nudge that shows that other people vouch for your work. Add a feature that tells the user the number of people that have taken that quiz. As we mentioned before, an interactive poll is the personification of social proof. Let me explain this in marketing language to you guys. How many people took this quiz implies that other people took that quiz. So voila, social proof accomplished. A 9th point is, however, of collecting content ideas. I know, we keep coming back to this, but content is just that important. Where are you going to get ideas for your quiz or your calculator? There are thousands of groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Quora, and Reddit that cater to different kind of audiences. Many of these groups are buzzing with discussions and debates and conversations. So all you have to do is search for your niche on all of these platforms, of course, and participate in these discussions. For instance, say you're a nutritionist, and then what you should do to collect content ideas is that you should try to identify the most popular groups in health and nutrition space. And then observe the commonly asked questions in these groups. Maybe questions like, do people talk about how to add more protein in their diet? Or do they want to cut sugar intake? And how can they do that? What are the processes? So the idea is to gain as much information as possible so that you have a vault of ideas with you for your next quiz or calculator. Now, another best practice is that of creating experiences around trending topics. Now, what is the easiest way to capture people's attention and emails? Capitalizing on things that they're already paying attention to. Google Trends, as the name suggests, can let you know what's trending in a country and in a category. So depending on where you're situated and which category of interactive content you want to create, you will get plenty of content ideas there. And now these categories can be anything. They can be health, entertainment, politics, or like us, marketing. For instance, here is another example for you. If the Winter Olympics are coming up soon, maybe you can create an effortless trending quiz like this one. It worked for us. It might as well work for you. Moving on to another point of adding social share buttons. Now, you have to make it easy for people to share the results by adding social share buttons. You can also create link with a pre-drafted tweet or a message that the users can share on their social network. Now, this way, the users won't have to put any effort into writing a tweet or a message that is going to accompany your quiz's link. Now, as you can see in this quiz, the quiz has a very clearly visible social media buttons. It makes it easier for people to share. Another thing is that we've noticed is that people love to share things that says something good about them. So make it easier for them to do it. Next up is hosting on website and landing pages. Well, hosting your interactive content there, to be precise. Let's suppose that you are a wealth management consultancy. So instead of that boring contact us form, you can embed a quiz there. Maybe a quiz titled, "Find out how financially literate you are." Now, this will facilitate your interaction with your potential leads and assure their participation, because you aren't hard selling your products. You aren't hard selling your services. You're just spreading information about that. Another option is to use interactive content on landing pages, because it has very positive impact on your conversions. That is what we have seen. Now, just have a look at this landing page that we created for our interactive experience, practicing what we preach. Moving on to another best practice of promoting on social media. Well, it's a little bit related to our 11th point. And speaking of practicing what we preach, our next point is related to that. The truth is that while social media is a powerful content promotion medium, content marketers still fail to leverage its manifold benefits. According to VR Social, it's a real report, there are 2.8 billion social media users, equaling 37% penetration. So what's keeping us from promoting our interactive content there? From publishing your quiz or your calculator on your timeline to running ads, you can do plenty to gain visibility. Moreover, however, this is a very important point that I have to mention here, guys. If you intend to run an ad, see to it that you have added proper tracking to determine which channel is bringing in the most traffic and leads. For us, Facebook has worked well, and for many of our clients, they prefer LinkedIn, some prefer Twitter. So you have to see which one works best for you. Analytics cannot be overstated. Its importance cannot be overstated. Moving on. Well, that was all the tea that we had on interactive content and how it can help you grow your email list. But as we promised, we do have a special offer for you just for the webinar registrants. We promised you guys a special offer, and of course, we intend to stick to it. You get a 30-day trial for just $1. Usually we give out only 14-day trials. However, for you specifically, we have doubled the number of days. If you guys have any questions, please write that in the chat, or any questions about the presentation that I just finished. If you guys have any questions, please do write them, and we will be getting back to you in just a second. All you have to do here in the free trial bit, all you have to do is click the link that is on your screens, head over to a sign up page, and then write the code Outgrow plus Aweber. It's on your screens. Just write the code Outgrow plus Aweber on our chat widgets that will be on the bottom of your Outgrow screens. Through this, you can easily automate data collection, get the smart builder, and optimize templates. So you don't really need to code. And of course, you can also integrate with 1,000 plus tools to close your marketing and sales loop. Also, I have to state this, if you guys don't like our tool, you can cancel anytime, no strings attached. Second is, of course, our setup help will be there for you. It's provided to you. We have extremely detailed support docs and help videos along with our regular blogs. So you won't be facing any problem there. But even if you do, Our customer support is here at your service 24/7. You have any doubts or you need any help with our tool, we are right here for you. All you need to do is click the chat widget that will be at the bottom of your Outgrow screens, and our customer support team will be there for you. The sign up link is, of course, on your screens. I feel like I do need to explain why you guys should prefer Outgrow, because I have told you about interactive content. Maybe it's time I told you about Outgrow. First of all, of course, it integrates with Aweber, and that's a plus point for all of you people here, most of you people here, I hope. Second is that it can help you boost your lead generation and, of course, grow your email list. That's what this has all been about. Calculator and quizzes, they engage customers at a psychological level. And this leads to a conversion rate of over 60% consistently. So, that's always there. And of course, the third point is go viral, which is directly related to that. Quizzes and calculators tend to go viral. You reach a wider audience, your brand gets noticed, and your referral traffic shoots through the roof. And this is all on the basis of case studies, the ones that we just showed you. Fourth is that you can extract intelligent analytics here. Maybe you want to know which prospect is an Eagles fan, or maybe you want to know which person has more than 20 employees. You can get customer insights without being pushy. Fifth is that you can embed interactive experiences in your emails, in your website, and in your customer chats. In fact, you can even get custom embeds. The sky's the limit. In fact, scratch that. There is no limit to how much your company can grow. Sixth is getting custom-made interactive experiences. See, if you're busy and you don't have time, we are here for you. We can create a custom interactive experience just for you. Many of our clients, they're busy, they want to save time, or more often than not, they ask us to make their experiences, especially calculators. They can get a bit tricky, even without the use of any coding. But of course, we are here to help you, and we can get them custom made if you want to. Seventh is our 24/7 support. Our support is present at your service 24/7, which I understand is hard to find in this industry. So your queries and your problems can be solved in no time. Eighth is, of course, our regular marketing resources and insights. We care about our customers just like you guys care about your businesses. We send out regular newsletters, marketing checklists, blogs, ebooks, courses, which are, well, everything and anything marketing. They're always made keeping our customers in mind, and we also publish a lot of top interactive experiences that are created on our platform every month, especially the ones that are created by our clients. So I guess that we're hoping that the next one can be yours. Next up, these are just a few of our satisfied customers. I thought that we could just share some with you, to give you a real idea of what people think and not just what we are saying about ourselves. Ryan says that he loves Outgrow and how it builds relevant and interactive content. Kelly Ann says that she loves the qualified leads that are garnered through her tour operator website. And Michael loves the software and mentions that it's very intuitive and versatile. Well, just FYI, guys, intuitive software is a compliment that we get to hear a lot. Next up is another one of our slides. It's these are the I have compiled our testimonials from, say, G+ and from G2 Crowd. So, and our Facebook, you can already check them out there if you want to. Jose here says that he loves the reasonable price that Outgrow offers. Well, thanks, Jose. We love that too. And Lauren considers it a great tool for creating landing pages. Again, we feel the same way. Honestly, we just love how much our customers love our tool. Happy customers is equal to happy us. You can check all of these out at our website, www.outgrow.co. Alternatively, you can simply just head over to our sign page, which again is just $1 for 30 days. And all you have to do is click the link on your screens. Just head over to our sign up page and then write the code Outgrow plus Aweber on our chat widget, which will be at the bottom of your Outgrow screens. Absolutely no strings attached, just pure interactive marketing. And I guess we'll be taking some questions now. Just bring them on. We are here just to inform you and just clarify your doubts. Of course, we are more than happy to help. With me is Dave, who is the product adoption specialist at Outgrow, and he will be taking all of your questions. Dave, are you here?
Issue here. I'm here, and I would be assisting and answering the questions. Thank you very much, Iti, for covering up for me. And I'll take these questions one by one and repeat the questions just before giving out the answer so that everyone is clear about the question. And in case we have any further questions, we can definitely take it on the email and take it all along. Okay, so I was asked, do you guys have any calculator templates I can customize from the business? We certainly do have templates, and you can tweak them, have your logo up there, have your color schemes and everything that you would need to go ahead and put on your branding for. You can tweak them, just copy them, use the templates and put them on your website or your landing pages. You're good to go there. We have templates specific to industries divided into financial, industrial, mechanical, or health. So you can definitely go through each particular content, maybe calculator, quiz, poll, and divide them as per sections and good to go there. Second question I was asked was, can someone embed these Outgrow pieces in Facebook Messenger or Intercom? So right now, we do not have the capability to get these Outgrow content pieces integrated on Facebook Messenger because the policy of Facebook keeps on changing. Right now, we cannot. However, on Intercom, you can definitely go ahead and do that. So you can have the entire content piece be embedded on Intercom. Another question that I got was, instead of typing the lead details, can someone connect using their Google account? Well, that is a very good question indeed. Right now, what you can do is you want to have the ease of action for users, and you're putting up a campaign on Facebook. You can have the user go ahead and put in continue with their Facebook information. However, we are still working on a Google sign-on for our users, and we'll definitely get back to you as soon as our product team is done testing on it, or when this will be released. We'll certainly come back. Is there an application for sharing tweets? Well, if you wish to go ahead and have the user share the entire quiz or the result for their quiz on Twitter, they can do that. Or for sharing the particular content piece on Twitter, you would need to actually copy paste the link, or for that kind of link for this quiz to put it on Twitter, and they can go ahead and check it. Can I have different share messages for each of the social options? Yes, you can. You can definitely go ahead and have different images or different messages for each of the social options for your users. Where can we get licensed images like Deadpool? So you can use Shutterstock, you can use Getty Images. If you have a very specific image that you're looking for, you can get on our chatbot on our website, like Iti mentioned, and you can talk to our support team. They can certainly find a kind of an image for you. Okay, do you guys offer time-based exit intent pop-ups? Yes, we certainly do. You can go ahead and get into the configure section. Much more detail when you are about to copy the embed code for that certain content that you've created. You can have the exit intent-based pop-up for yourself. Do you guys integrate with Kartra and Kajabi? Yes, we integrate with Kajabi, and our team is already working on perfect integration with Kartra. And also, do you support A/B testing and have funnels like ClickFunnels? We definitely have user funnel details in our analytics. However, you want to go ahead and see it, you want to add segments, have funnels depending on each questions that you have put on. you can definitely get in our tool, see the user funnel details and how your questions are being responded. You can do that. Is Outgrow better than using ASK method? Well, in that case, what I would recommend is go ahead and try the tool. Okay, see how the conversion really gets for you. It's pretty cool. You can definitely go ahead and create a lot of content, a lot of interactive content for your website, for your landing pages, for your users. Much more better than a survey because this gives a result out for your user and makes it much more interactive. This comes on to the next question, which says, how many interactive content pieces can I make with Outgrow? You can create as many as you want, depending on the subscription plan that you go for. If you only require 1 or 2, you can select a lower plan. If you have an unlimited number of content pieces that you would like to create, you can definitely go ahead with higher plans. Do you guys offer special deal for agencies? Yes, we do. We definitely work with a lot of agencies in US, Canada, Europe. We take care of them, we understand their requirement, and then customize deals for them depending on the requirement that they have and the set of features that they want. And we do have great deals for our agencies that we work with, we partner with them. Do I need to set up an integration with Intercom to use your content pieces in my account? Well, if you need to go ahead and use your content pieces on Intercom, you would have to embed them on Intercom. However, for integration part, that would come in case you are using a CRM kind of a thing for Intercom, but then you can definitely go ahead and do that. What level of customization do you guys offer as far as overall look and feel is concerned? So we give out option of CSS and scripts for any kind of structural or kind of cosmetic changes that you want to bring into your calculation, be it GIFs, animation, be it the arrows for the submit buttons or your color scheme or anything of that sort. We can go on to the next level of customization with that. What is a content piece? A very good question. A content piece can be called as any content that you create within Outgrow, be it a calculator, an outcome quiz, a graded quiz, more like SATs, a poll, an e-commerce quiz, or a chatbot. Each of them is a content piece, more like an interactive content piece. Can I use my marketer form in Outgrow instead of your lead form? Yes, you can. You can definitely go ahead and do that. Can I track the visit and conversion data in Google Analytics, and can I integrate retarget visitors in Facebook? Yes, you can. We give that opportunity to our users through our settings within Outgrow that you can retarget your visitors in Facebook and also track the events of your analytics in Google. How can I drive more traffic to my interactive content? You can do a lot of things. You can go ahead and create much more interesting content with a lot of images, graphical representations. Also, for new time marketers, we do have within our tool a promotion checklist option, which you can go through depending on what you are going ahead with. You want brand awareness, you want lead generation, how do you want to present your topic ahead? You can check box and it gives you a reach out. So that is a very interesting tool. You can definitely go ahead and use it. Can you set up data flow with OB database? So we'll have to check that. So in case we do not have a native integration with them, I believe if it's in Zapier, you can definitely go ahead and create a Zap and send the details out from Outgrow to your CRM OB. Okay, another question we have is, do you support click dimensions? So I would have to check that with our technical team to get more information on that. I may not be able to come to you any information right now, but then we can definitely get back to you with that. Which CRMs does Outgrow integrate with? So we have a lot of native integration. We work with Aweber, we work with Salesforce, Marketo, MailChimp, we work with Google Sheets, a lot of CRMs that you can use. Also, to mention it one more time, in case you do not see a native integration with a CRM of your choice that you're using in Outgrow, you can use Zapier for that. So it's on Zapier, you can definitely go ahead and integrate with Outgrow. So that is the question that I've received till now. One more, I'm an agency, so can I hide Outgrow logo and show my logo everywhere? Yes, indeed you can. With the premium plans that we do you can certainly go ahead and hide your Outgrow logo, hide the Outgrow logo. And you can go ahead and put your own logo on the content that you create. Any other questions? We are already working on a HIPAA compliance. I believe our team is already working on that. If you have a specific question for that, I can have the specialist from our team get back to you with more information on that. We may have a documentation ready in a short period of time, and we can share the documentation with you. Do we have any other questions? Is your team HIPAA certified? Again, we are already working on that, and I would have more information on it from my team, and we can definitely get back to you on that. Can I delete my leads from Outgrow once they sync with my CRM? Yes, you can delete the leads. We give this opportunity. You can get into the user details sections. We can discuss that in detail, and you can go ahead and delete those leads once they are in your CRM. Also, when they reach your CRM, you can create your reporting based on details that you required. You may, if you wish to go ahead and pass on all the data from Outgrow to your CRM, you would require an advanced level of integration, which is available. So also, where are your data centers in Europe and USA? We are based out in Ireland. Our data center is in Ireland for Europe. And let me check for USA, much more detail there. Give me a quick second. Yes, we guys, okay, are you guys GDPR compliant? Yes, we are. We were compliant on the date. We have our data protection policy ready. If you guys want it, we can definitely share it with you. Any other questions we have? Okay, so you can keep asking the questions in the live chat. In the trial, if you have many questions, if you have more questions, you can get onto our website, use the chat bot, have more and more questions there. Our support team would be glad to assist you further and take it ahead with you guys. I'm going to shift it back to Iti, and she can take it away from here. Thank you very much, Iti.
Thank you so much, Dave, for those amazing answers. And thank you so much, everybody, for asking those questions. I don't see any more questions that are left unanswered, but I do have some comments here. Oh, wow. People like the quotes that we used. Thank you so much. It took some time to create them. Somebody likes thank you. Somebody likes our presentation. Thank you so much. Curiosity is a mental itch. That's wonderful. Somebody wrote that. Oh, thank you. Thank you for quoting us on that. We have enormous amount of resources and courses for you guys. So if you want to read more resources, or if you want to see any more of our webinars, please do register with us. And of course, I'm going to give the sign up link on your screens once again. I guess it's time to wrap it up then. Our sign up link is, of course, on your screens again. Let me present it to you right here. Our sign-up link is here. We're extremely happy about the fact that so many of you marketers took the time out and you attended our webinar. I hope that it added some value to you. Well, just like interactive content does. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I was your host, Iti Dubey from Outgrow, and my LinkedIn is attached right here. Please feel free to reach out in case you have any questions. And of course, if you sign up, our support team, like I said, is here for you. We're always looking for ways to improve. And I guess we'll see you on another webinar. Until then, don't sell, just be nice.